Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Guru Bani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation is Gaudi Gwareri Mahalla Panjava. Kio Bhrameaai Bhram Kis hoi, ja jal thal mahiyal ravya soi, Gurmukh ubbare manmukh pat khoi, जिस राखै आप राम दयारा, तिस नहीं दूजा को पहुँचनहारा। रहाओ सब मह वर्तै एक अनंता, तातु सुख सो होय अचंता। ओ सब किछ जानै जो वरतंता, मनमुख मुए जिन दूजी प्यासा। बहु जोनी भवै तुर किरत लिखासा, जैसा बीज है तैसा खासा। देख दरस मन पया विगासा, सब नदरी आया ब्रह्म प्रगासा। जन नानक की हर पूर्ण आसा। In this Shabad, Guru Arjan talks about Kio Bhrameaai, delusion, and Bhram Kis hoi, why be deluded with doubt. So the doubt is what we have to understand. What exactly is this doubt that is deluding us? So let's look at the passage. He says, Kio Bhrameaai Bhram Kis hoi, why be deluded with doubt, when that one pervades everywhere, in the waters, on land and in space. Ja jal thal mayal ravya soi. So the point he's making is, when it is a given, when it is so obvious to him that jal thal mayal ravya soi, that the One, the Supreme Self, pervades everything, where can there be room for doubt? Kiska hoi, Bhram Kiska hoi. And he adds that Gurmukh ubbare manmukh pat khoi. The Gur-guided sees this truth, but the ego-minded goes astray and are tarnished. Patakoi. Patakoi is generally translated as losing one's honor. So what does it mean to lose one's honor? In some senses, it means that one has degraded from one's original state, or that one has morally fallen, or that one is stigmatized or tarnished. So in this context, how does one lose one's honor? Well, I would suggest that think about it, that the degradation is the fact that we have lost touch with our true nature. That is to say, we have lost awareness of the Supreme Self because we are egocentric. What that means is we are constantly thinking of ourselves as a separate, independent, discrete entity, whereas the Supreme Self is universal. It is not a singular thing, but it is the collective. It is everything. Whereas an ego thinks of itself as just being a thing, the self is everything. And it is this awareness that the manmukh lacks and is the source of the delusion. That is really the delusion. And in the Rahao, the Guru says, Jis rakhe aap Ram dayara, tis nahi duja ko pahchanhara. to whom the compassionate Ram self, that is the all-pervading Supreme Self, to whom that self provides protection, what harm can possibly come to that person? For that Ram has no equal. In other words, there is no other. There is only one all-pervading self. That's the point that is being emphasized. And that by implication, we are also reflections of that self. Sab hai vartay ek ananta, तातू सुख सो होए अचिंता, वो सब किछ जाने जो वर्तंता. That one is present in everything. Sab mein vartay. Ananta, that one is infinite. Tatu sukh so, rest in peace in that knowledge. Rest in peace. And know that the one who is present everywhere also knows everything. O sab kich jane jo vartanta. This is the instruction to the Sikh. This is what you need to understand and absorb. But what happens is, manmukh moe jin duji pyasa, bahujoni pave tur kirt likhasa, jaisa bije taisa khasa. Let's see what this means. What the Guru is saying is that as one sows, so one reaps. And the delusion of the ego-minded is really the result of the actions of the ego, or the actions driven by the ego. So if the ego is deluded, your actions are deluded, and therefore you go astray. And how is the ego deluded? Because it is searching for itself, in a manner of speaking, through the senses, in other things, and it craves, it's looking for other things. And that is why the Guru calls them manamukha moe. They're rendered good for nothing and are as good as dead, meaning spiritually dead. And through their actions, through their deluded actions, they bind themselves to the long cycle of cause and effect. Because that is what happens. You get attached to something, you chase it, you want more of it, and that cycle perpetuates that bondage. But when the Har Self is seen or experienced through the teachings of the Guru, Dekh daras man bhaya vigasa, the mind blooms. What that means is your consciousness expands. A-sabad-a-day Bhram. Then you actually realize the light of the Creator everywhere. You intuitively have this awareness. And the Guru concludes by saying, Jana Nanak ki har puran asa. Knowing the Har Self fulfilled the longing and the seeking that the seeker Nanak had. So that's the way to go. On that note, until the next time, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.